This chart tracks the pretrial misdemeanor detention rate across Tennessee. For most of the state, the baseline sits around 17.5%. In Coffee County, the data tells a different story. At its peak, the county's rate reached 73.1%. A pretrial misdemeanor defendant is someone accused of a low-level offense who has not been convicted or sentenced. These are legally innocent individuals held in a cell before getting their day in court. In this county, the practical punishment begins at the moment of arrest. Out of 57 monthly jail reports, Coffee County ranked number 1 in the state for its pretrial misdemeanor share in 55 of them. For a 22-month stretch, the county held the highest percentage in Tennessee without interruption. This bar chart breaks down how comparable counties manage these populations. Pretrial misdemeanors are highly discretionary. The data shows this category is almost entirely policy-driven, relying on who gets arrested instead of cited, who faces stacked charges, and who receives a bond they cannot afford. Crime alone does not explain these figures. The jail is functioning as a destination for the people funneled into the front end of the system by the officials in charge. District Attorney Craig Northcott holds broad discretionary power over these front-end decisions. His office controls charging, plea pressure, and diversion access, effectively deciding who enters the jail and who receives a way out. Northcott has been vocal about the philosophy guiding his office. He publicly describes civil government as a divine institution created by God, with an explicit mandate to restrain evil and promote righteousness. Through this lens, standard legal discretion becomes an act of moral judgment. Conduct related to addiction or domestic disputes is treated as a moral failure requiring a punitive response. The system uses the jail to filter individuals based on the district attorney's personal definitions of righteousness. Northcott explicitly defined the boundaries of his protection in a public post. There are no constitutional rights. There are God-given rights protected by the Constitution. He then stated, "If you don't believe in the one true God, there is nothing to protect." When a prosecutor with the power to cage human beings states that constitutional rights depend on a specific faith, the jail transforms into a taxpayer-funded moral sorting facility. In 2019, the Board of Professional Responsibility and various watchdog groups launched an investigation into Northcott following his public religious statements. The investigation placed his office under intense outside scrutiny. During that investigation, Phase 2 shows the pretrial misdemeanor detention rate dropping to an all-time low of 29%, aligning with the state average. But once the investigation was dismissed, Phase 3 shows the detention rate spiking back to a record 73.1%. Regional crime rates and jail capacity do not typically align with the timeline of an ethics probe. The data shows the jail population functioning like an ideological dial. It was turned down when the district attorney was being watched and returned to extreme levels when the scrutiny ended. The harshness of this system is not applied evenly across the population. Coffee County does not maintain a consistent approach to law enforcement. Every year, thousands of visitors attend the Bonnaroo Music Festival. Attendees accused of offenses are frequently handled with simple citations. In contrast, local citizens accused of simple misdemeanors are held in jail at record-setting rates before their trials. Individual cases highlight the disparity. A non-believer who publicly criticized Northcott was held in solitary confinement for 52 days on a misdemeanor accusation. Meanwhile, when the brother of an assistant police chief was accused of domestic violence, the system facilitated his release and the charges were eventually dismissed. A preacher who admitted to child rape lived free in the community for years with 19 continuances. At the same time, a family of color traveling through the state had their 5 children taken by the government for 2 months following a simple misdemeanor marijuana citation. These contrasts suggest a system that offers selective mercy for the well-connected and selective destruction for those the prosecutor deems disfavored. Enforcing this ideological model is expensive. Over 4 years, this overdetention has cost local taxpayers an estimated $13.95 million in excess jail overhead, roughly $3.2 million every year above the state norm. This graphic shows the direct cost to the community. Over $671,000 in TVA funds were taken from the school board and redirected into the general fund to support the law enforcement budget. These funds are generated by local hydroelectric infrastructure. Instead of supporting public health, roads, or classrooms, this revenue funds the high rate of pretrial confinement. Millions of dollars have been diverted, families have been separated, and the legal innocence of citizens has been ignored to sustain one official's theological vision. Coffee County operates a taxpayer-funded moral punishment pipeline where the prosecutor decides who is righteous enough to remain free.